placement looked like a direct assignment, not an adjustment. Luke knows my ID info and my application passwords. I never bothered to guard them. My dorm mates, hearing I'd gotten into a fight in the cafeteria, rushed over in a panic and took me to the campus clinic. My nails were broken, and bruises were already blooming on my face. When my roommates found out the marks on my face weren't from fighting Fiona but from Luke sucker slapping me, they were furious. A dog of a man hitting a woman? Absolutely not, they kept repeating. It's fine, I told them. We're already done. On Saturday, 2 of my roommates asked me out for a movie and dinner, and I gladly looked forward to it. When we got back, I saw the campus forum had exploded. The entire fight I'd had with Fiona yesterday had been posted there. Because she was wearing an ultra-short pencil skirt and no safety shorts underneath, just a thong, her fall had been downright indecent, and someone had snapped photos and uploaded them to the forum. The headline blared something like, "This year's hottest drama, round 1, rich pretty girl versus slang-slinging side piece, jerk boyfriend can't tell right from wrong, ex-girlfriend spills the tea." And it recapped everything about my argument with Fiona. The love triangle, the girls throwing down, and a few very sensational-looking photos. It went viral fast. Comment after comment slammed Fiona. What does this woman want? They already broke up and she still went to provoke her. She obviously did it on purpose to show off. Is that guy blind or just stupid, liking someone like her? Freshman Emily is so pretty. If you steal someone's boyfriend, getting pummeled serves you right. Some guys even photoshopped Fiona's indecent shots, and the replies were a stream of ha ha ha. When my 2 roommates and I reached campus, one of them got a call that a package had arrived and rushed off to the pickup spot. The other wanted to grab a few bottles of water from the campus shop. I was about to go with her when my phone rang. The caller ID showed a friend I'd met over the summer, Carson Song. While Luke and Fiona were off in Jiuzhaigou, I hadn't bothered going, so my uncle told me my younger cousin had just returned to the country, and a family friend's kid, also a new college freshman, was coming to Hangzhou to play. He told me to join them. With my cousin as guide, Carson and I toured all sorts of sites around Hangzhou, and naturally we added each other and exchanged contact info. I answered, and Carson went straight in. "Emily, are you going to Liberty Crest University too?" "Yeah," I said. "My mom wants to send me abroad." And I agreed. "What's up?" he groaned. "I don't know what got into the old man at home. He's dead set on sending me to Liberty Crest University. Says it's a noble school, but it's chaos, and my spoken English is hopeless. I'm freaking out." On the other end, it sounded like Carson had been holding it in forever, and finally found someone to vent to. He wailed. Leaving home for study is basically exile. In ancient times, exile was only 3,000 li. How many li is this? For some reason I burst out laughing. I understood him though. The education in Sioux City is ruthless. He'd clawed his way into a top 985 school. Over the summer he told me his score could have gotten him into Tsinghua or Beta, but he's a homebody so he chose Jinling University instead. Now, 2 weeks into the semester his family wants him overseas. How could he not complain? "It's okay," I said. "My spoken English is passable. We'll stick together when we get there." Good. Lead me, please. I'm panicking," Carson said. I laughed and agreed, then hung up, planning to meet my roommates at the campus shop to buy water and snacks and binge shows together that night. I looked up and saw Luke. His face was dark as iron. I couldn't be bothered. I turned to run, but he grabbed me. "Emily," he barked, "what's supposed to mean? You're going abroad to study?" I nodded. "Yeah," I said. "I'm going abroad, leaving right after National Day in October. My mom has already arranged for people over there to handle my enrollment and even purchase a place to live." As I said that, I started to walk away again, but Luke clamped down on my wrist and dragged me aside, his tone nasty as he shouted, "Emily, all this over a cup of brown sugar tea? You threw a tantrum, hit people, cursed them out, made it blow up online, and now you're running off? I'm telling you, I don't agree. I absolutely will not agree to you studying abroad." I honestly found it ridiculous. I shook off his arm and asked, "Who do you think you are? Since when do I need your permission to study abroad? Don't be shameless. We're just neighbors and classmates who happen to know each other. What right do you have to meddle in my private life? Stop yapping beside me." Right then, Fiona ran up. Seeing Luke standing near me, she pulled the same old stunt, one arm hooked around his neck, the other pointing at me, as she laughed. Fuzzy Emily, didn't you say you and Luke were over? Why are you looking for him again? Don't tell me you're planning to kneel and apologize to make up. Ha ha ha. I said coldly. Fiona, I don't play your sneaky little schemes, and I'm not shameless like you, no spine, calling him your bro. While you volunteer yourself for his bed so your bro can enjoy himself first. Take your Luke and get lost. You're filthy, don't stain my eyes. I headed toward the campus shop, but that shameless man still followed and blocked me. Emily, let's talk, he said. I stopped and asked, Luke, what exactly do you want? Can you keep your distance from me? Do you have any idea how annoying you are? Luke ground his teeth. Emily, I told you I don't agree to you going abroad. I don't agree, don't you understand? Since we were kids, you've never been away from me. If you dare go, then we're breaking up. I actually laughed from anger. Luke, we already broke up, okay? Who said we broke up? He snapped, flustered, reaching for me again. I shook him off. Just over a cup of brown sugar tea, you're breaking up with me? He yelled, eyes red. You're heartless, I sneered. From the moment that woman slapped a stupid nickname on me and you joined in, there was no future for us. She might not know what my name means, but you don't either? If killing weren't illegal, I'd have finished her off. I said to myself. My dad is a soldier. When my mom gave birth to me, he was overseas and had been out of contact for over 3 months. Our whole family waited and waited. My mom gave me the nickname Tuan Tuan, reunion, hoping for our family to be whole. My dad didn't come back until I was 7 months old. My mom asked him to give me a proper name. He thought for a moment and said he'd only survived by luck, while many of his comrades stayed behind overseas, never able to reunite with their families. Then call her Tuan Tuan, he said. My dad is still all over the world, and he and my mom are often apart. When Fiona transferred from number 2 high to number 1 high, the teacher seated her next to me. I greeted her warmly. Hi, I'm Emily, Tuan Tuan, as in reunion. She pointed at me and in that exaggerated tone, lectured. Tuan Tuan, are you a cat or a dog? After the founding of the nation, no becoming spirits, you know. What a beast cultivated into a person and still insists on carrying an animal's name. In front of everyone, I was stunned, speechless. Our classmates burst into laughter, and after that she kept calling me Fuzzy Emily in all sorts of weird tones. She even said, animals with fur always look nicer, so of course you're Fuzzy Emily. I fought with her over it, argued, and even threw hands a few days ago. Every time Luke told me, she's just joking. Can't you be more generous? Cut her some slack, okay? She's immature. Do you have to be immature with her? He even wanted me to apologize to Fiona. Yeah, no. I was never going to apologize to her. And between Luke and me, things naturally went from childhood sweethearts, inseparable since we were little, to drifting apart, walking down opposite roads. Feelings don't collapse in a day. There's always a process. Fiona would lecture me, it's just a joke. Can't you even take a joke? I sneered. Fiona, even if I break up with Luke, he won't choose you. You're not only ugly, you're filthy. He's just sleeping with you for free, playing with you for free, because you throw yourself at him. He'll keep using you as long as he can. As for Luke, I was his little sweetheart, the girl who'd trailed after him since we were kids. He was arrogant enough to think, she loves me, so I can push her around. So he got his free fun with his female bro while keeping a grip on his childhood girlfriend, living his dream of swaggering through springtime, trashy and cruel. Just then, my 2 roommates came over carrying water and snacks, plus a big box. I hurried to help. Your ex is looking for you, one roommate gossiped, wide-eyed. Later I heard that after my roommates and I went back to the dorm, Luke and Fiona had a huge fight under the girls' dorm building. It got nasty, and Luke ended up slapping her. On top of that, people dug up Fiona's whole pick-me routine, and her original roommates couldn't stand her either. She was always squeezing into groups of guys, going on and on about, you women are so delicate. She never did any dorm chores, saying that kind of work was born for women, and she was a real man. Naturally, no one indulged her. After the blow-up and the cold shoulder, Luke came to find me twice more, begging me not to go abroad and asking me to get back together. Weirdly enough, every single time, Fiona showed up right on cue. I even wondered if she had Luke under remote surveillance. How else did she time it so perfectly? I rolled my eyes and snapped at the pair of them. Scumbag and cheap girl, stay away from me, get lost, that sort of thing. I'm not great at cursing anyway. Lately I've been busy grinding my spoken English. I had no choice. Carson kept wailing that he was terrified of going abroad and turning into a mute who couldn't communicate. My uncle said Carson's family had arranged a nanny and bodyguards and a tutor to go with him, and he was still panicking. He even got me a little anxious. My mom had also arranged a companion tutor and an assistant for me. As National Day drew near, I said goodbye to my roommates, then to my teachers and counselor. Over the holiday, I also met up with a few old friends to say goodbye. Carson's family even had someone pick an auspicious date and decided October 7 was perfect for travel. So I packed my bags and headed to the airport with my people, Shanghai Pudong. Carson showed up in sunglasses with 3 attendants. When he saw me, he hurried over. "Emily, are you nervous?" he asked. He asked if I was nervous. Honestly, I hadn't been. When I was younger, I'd tag along with my mom or my uncle all over the place. It wasn't until high school, when coursework got heavy and every winter and summer break was packed, that I stopped having time to travel. But for some reason, maybe because he was anxious, I got anxious too. A little, I admitted. My assistant went to change my boarding pass and check my luggage, and Carson kept holding my hand. That's when I realized he really was nervous. "Why is your family suddenly sending you abroad?" I asked carefully. Setting aside that my major got switched to some super niche track, my family had always planned to send me overseas. But why you now? He lowered his voice by my ear. The old man made a bit of money in Southeast Asia, not even much, and stirred up a pile of trouble. So now they're sending me abroad. Basically, I'm being exiled. I was about to answer when a sharp, accusing shout cut in. "Emily, that's your reason for going abroad. You're fickle, you're two-timing, do you have any shame?" I looked up and saw Luke. Carson still had my hand from our conversation, and before I could reply, he glanced at Luke and smiled at me. "Emily, this the gentleman who ditched you to take his female bro to Jushigo?" I nodded with a small smile. "Back when I ran off to Hangzhou, I'd told my cousin about it. Carson was there and even tried to comfort me." Luke reached out to grab me, but Carson tugged me behind him and said, "Emily, I figured your boyfriend would be from a background like ours, equally handsome and polished. But he's just ordinary." Luke wasn't bad-looking, tall, broad-shouldered, a decent face. Among a crowd he counted as attractive. But next to Carson, the gap was more than a grade or 2. Hearing Carson talk him down, Luke exploded. "Who do you think you are? Since when do you get to butt into my business with fuzzy Emily?" Rage flared in me. I swung and slapped him hard across the face. He froze, clutching his cheek. "You hit me for him," he shouted. "What did you just call me?" I said coldly. Luke blinked, then fumbled into an apology. Sorry, Emily. I slipped. It just came out." "Came out naturally?" I laughed without warmth. "Fiona gave me an insulting nickname, and you naturally use it?" "Emily, he stammered, but I was done. I turned back to Carson. "Let's talk about how we're going to manage life overseas," I said. "You're panicking." Luke wouldn't quit. He buzzed in my ear, nagging, "Emily, don't go abroad, okay? From now on, I'll listen to you. I swear I won't hang out with Fiona anymore. I'm sorry, last time was my fault. I shouldn't have given your brown sugar tea to someone else." I decided to spell it out, calmly. "Luke, first understand this. We're over. Childhood sweethearts aren't reliable. Starting in our sophomore year of high school, you liked Fiona. You skipped class together, gamed together, smoked together, went to Jushigo together, and together you gave me that nickname, mocking me, humiliating me for fun. Emily," he blurted, flustered. "It's not like that. It's not. This is wrong. I don't agree to breaking up, absolutely not. Don't go. I won't let you go. If you leave, I'll die and make you watch." His eyes were bloodshot, his words a mess. I gave a small laugh. "Luke, we already broke up. We blocked each other a while ago. If you want to die, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. Don't tell me you love me." "With what love? You crawl out of another woman's bed and run over here saying you love me. You even reek of Fiona's cheap perfume. If you don't find that disgusting, fine, but don't come here to disgust me." I truly didn't get it. All golden week, Luke tried every trick to corner me, throwing out corny lines with one goal: to stop me from going abroad and keep me in school at home with him. And Fiona? It was like she had a tracker on him. She always managed to find him at the worst possible moments. They drove me up the wall. I knew they'd booked rooms together many times starting senior year. The first time was in a private booth at an internet cafe, a total blackout blur. I'm not into spying, but Fiona sent me something after every time. Then there were the school bathrooms, bars, cheap motels, and in Jushigo they even did it outdoors, rolling on the ground under the sky. Luke, I told you we were done at the start of senior year, I said. We broke up then, at least in my heart. You've been just the neighbor boy, a friend, not the boyfriend I want in college. That day I asked you to grab my takeout, I was treating you like a neighbor and a friend, mostly because my 2 roommates were busy. I refused to accept that niche major, and I didn't want to go abroad, not because of you, but because if I left, my mom and I would see even less of each other. My dad is always away, my mom's lonely, and I wanted to stay with her. None of that has a thing to do with you. Fiona loves you. Don't waste it. I hooked my arm through Carson's and headed for the terminal entrance. In the distance, I saw Fiona hurrying toward us. Carson's family had bought a small villa near Liberty Crest University. My mom wanted to buy one too, but everyone at that kind of elite school has money. She moved a bit too slowly and missed out. So Carson asked me to share his place. I was a little nervous about a foreign country, and having a companion sounded good. That's how we settled in, studying, hanging out, starting to get involved with our family's businesses, our horizons widening bit by bit. By year's end, Carson confessed to me. I thought it over and said yes. He's handsome, well-built, and comes with a fortune. Dating him felt effortless. Even after I left, with how fast information moves, I still heard things from home. That day, Luke and Fiona had a huge fight. On top of that, Luke found out Fiona had installed a location tracker on his phone, so she literally knew where he was at all times. Meanwhile, Uncle Lou ran into trouble with his business. Cash flow tightened. He mortgaged the factory and tried to borrow from my mom. She refused. With no choice, he went to the bank. But big loans like that are handled cautiously. After the initial review and a second review, the bank told him he didn't meet the requirements. For a deal like that, the Lou family's big deal collapsed. A few other problems piled on, and the Lou's teetered on the edge of bankruptcy. When people get desperate, they turn superstitious, so Uncle Lou went everywhere praying and making offerings. A master told him, "Mr. Lou, your household has been tainted by something unclean, an ominous sign. If you don't resolve it, within a year, you'll not only lose your assets, but there'll be bloodshed." Uncle Lou hurried to ask how to break the curse. After studying his face and palm, the master drawled, "Mr. Lou, your features are upright. You're not the one stained. It must be someone very close to you. To resolve it is simple. Sever ties with that person." Uncle Lou thanked him profusely and went home to find the so-called source of filth. Aunt Lou had been dead for over 5 years, brain cancer discovered at the terminal stage, and she passed within half a year. That left only Luke. Uncle Lou discovered his son was tangled up with a girl of questionable background. Only then did he learn I'd already gone abroad. He'd always assumed Luke and I were doing fine, childhood sweethearts, inseparable. Went to Jushigo together, started college together. Now he realized that wasn't true at all. Remembering how my mother had refused his factory-backed loan, he flew into a rage and dug into Fiona's past. He found that her parents were killed in a car crash, literally bodies on the street, leaving behind, as he put it, a debt collector spirit of a daughter. Worse, in high school, her private life was a mess. She was caught fooling around with a bleached hair punk in the girls' dorm. A classmate happened to walk in, screamed, and ran out. No Too High didn't want a scandal damaging its reputation, so they pushed for a transfer. That's how she ended up at number 1 high. Uncle Lou went back to the master, who pinched his fingers, calculated, and sighed. "Mr. Lou, go home. That girl clashes with father and mother. Great misfortune. Your son has already had relations with her. They can't be cleanly separated. If you can bear it, move your son's household registration out, and don't give him a cent. Only poverty can suppress this miasma." Uncle Lou tried to leave an offering, but the master refused, saying it would be sinful to take it. So Uncle Lou called Luke home. gave him a thorough beating, and the next day used his connections to transfer Luke's household registration back to their hometown in Huicheng. He gave him no money. He even found a notary and drew up papers stating that even after his death, none of his property, houses, stocks, the factory, the company would go to Luke. If he was going to sever ties, he would sever them completely. He told Luke, "Don't blame me for being ruthless. Blame yourself for inviting filth into our home. I won't be dragged down into ruin or end up dead in the street because of you." Luke was legally an adult, so he had no grounds to demand support, but he was only a college freshman. He had no money and nowhere to go. Uncle Lou threw him out. The part that made me want to laugh and cry was this. After Aunt Lou died, Uncle Lou got together with a woman named Faye, who had a 15-year-old daughter, pretty, gentle, sweet-tongued. Within a year, Faye got pregnant and gave Uncle Lou a son, whom they named Leo Lou. He's 3 years old now. Faye's daughter was delicate as a porcelain doll, and Uncle Lou adored her. As for Luke, he was fed up. After driving Luke out, he brought Faye and her girl, let's call her Lily, into the house, and the three of them settled into a peaceful, happy life. From our neighbors, I heard that Uncle Lou treated his new wife and that adopted daughter exceptionally well. Strangely enough, once he severed ties with Luke, his business picked up. By year's end, he landed a major contract which only deepened his faith in the master's words. All that run of bad luck had come from Luke bringing filth into the family, the same filth that had supposedly overwhelmed Fiona's own parents. Vicious to the core, he thought. Luke still didn't know when to quit. He came around a few times making scenes, which only made Uncle Lou loathe him more. Luke started living off loans. After hitting up all his old buddies, he even called me to borrow money. I hung up in silence and blocked his number. Honestly, the master wasn't entirely wrong. Both Luke and Fiona felt toxic. Keeping my distance seemed safest. Luke's life slid into a deep trough. Because he kept borrowing, people mocked him and gave him the cold shoulder. He tried taking part-time jobs, but student wages were low, and after 2 years of running with Fiona, he picked up plenty of bad habits. His temper was awful. He couldn't settle down and put in steady work to support himself. He began replaying his life. The Lou family had been well off. He used to have fistfuls of pocket money, and me, the pretty girl next door. We'd always had fun together. After he met Fiona, she constantly needled me, and I fought with her. Every time he jumped in, and then I fought with him. After each blow-up, Luke would regret it and want to apologize and make up, but every time he came to find me, Fiona clung to him like a shadow, like a bone in the throat. She'd snipe in that mocking tone and set us off again. On and on it went until I went abroad and drew a hard line. Thinking it through, from the moment he met Fiona, she egged him on to do one reckless thing after another: smoking, drinking, hanging out in internet cafes, skipping class, renting rooms. She even pushed him to alter my college preferences. They left me stranded at the airport while they went to Jiuzhaigou a day early. Luke also realized that because they went ahead to Jiuzhaigou, I went to Hangzhou instead and met Carson Song. He took that as fate between me and Carson. Then Uncle Lou remarried and Luke was swept out of the house. The more he thought about it, the more it all seemed to circle back to Fiona. He decided the master had been right. Fiona was a curse, and he was unlucky because he'd been tainted by her. His mindset unraveled. He went around asking people how to get rid of unclean taint. Then both he and Fiona disappeared. Fiona was an orphan and unpopular at school. As for Luke, he'd borrowed and never paid back, so classmates figured he'd gone to dodge his debts. No one bothered looking. Half a month later, someone called the police to report a mutilated female corpse found at an abandoned factory in the east of the city. When officers arrived and investigated, they identified the body as Fiona's. Her body was covered in all kinds of injuries. Wounds of every size covered her. Unforgivable, unspeakable. Her tongue had been cut, her eyes gouged, all 4 limbs broken, and yet there was no single fatal wound. They said she died in agony, day by day, from sheer torture. The police quickly identified Luke as the suspect, and the arrest went smoothly. He laid out the whole crime in detail. The methods were so vicious that even veteran detectives were shaken. "Filth, filth, I beat the filth to death," Luke raved, laughing and babbling. "Emily, I killed the filth. Are you happy now? Let's get back together." Don't go abroad. He dropped to his knees and kowtowed. Emily, I'm sorry. It was all that filthy thing's fault. Later, a psychiatric evaluation found he had a severe mental disorder. He was confined to a cramped cell in a psychiatric hospital, muttering the same lines every day. Filth. I've been tainted by filth. What do I do? When I learned he'd killed Fiona, I couldn't make sense of it. As a woman, I knew she liked him. She used her body to please him and treated me as a rival. She threw tantrums and stirred up trouble but wouldn't simply say, Luke, let's be together. She insisted they were just bras. And Luke was just as rotten, eating from the bowl while eyeing the pot, having his fun with his bro, and still clinging to me, the girl next door. I don't even know how they both lost their minds and veered into extremity. He was a college student. Even if Uncle Luke cut him off in a fit of anger, he could have found a job, studied properly, and supported himself. How did it come to this? Epilogue. I've been doing well abroad. I met new friends and started dating Carson Song. Sweet and easy. Sometimes a few of us get together to play mahjong for fun. We found out that a senior 1 year above us, let's call him Sean, was actually the provincial top scorer in science from Sioux City that year. Carson and I felt instantly better. See? It's not just the two of us, unlucky exiles shipped overseas. The top scorer got exiled too. When we teased him, even that science champion wailed, so studying abroad really is exile. Exactly how many miles are we being exiled?